bad. Kind of
What's
screwed that
going
up.
on, guys? Cody Hawk. I want to say thank you for all of you who are joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. My name is Cody Hawk, and we're going to talk about Kindle business tonight. So we're going to go over your guys' questions. We've got a few things we want to cover right from the beginning, and then we're going to go over your guys' questions. So if you have a question, leave it in the comments below, and we will get to it shortly. Steve, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for taking some time to watch the show tonight. We're gonna have some cool stuff that we talk about in regards to Kindle publishing. Just as a little background, I've been doing Kindle publishing for probably about 8 months now. I've got to check. I've been doing it really serious for a good half a year and been having a ton of success, and I've been loving it. I think it's a great opportunity, but yeah, so far I've been making really good money, and I want to teach you guys exactly how to do it too, because I found it to be one of the easiest and best ways to make money online. So with that being said, yeah, I'll pass it back off to Cody, but I'm from Connecticut as well. Definitely leave a comment below in the comment section. Let us know where you are from. Definitely interested. But what's going on, Cody? What do we have to announce today? Don't we have something special that we wanted to give away?
Yeah, we got something special for you guys. So we're actually going to be giving away a copy of our Kindle course, the Kindle Business Academy. It's going to be launching in the next couple of weeks. We're getting really close to the launch. So the Kindle Business Academy is going to be launching over the next couple of weeks, and we are going to be giving away a free copy of that course tonight.
Absolutely. So all you have to do, and we're going to announce this again in the middle of the show and later on if you're just catching it then, but all you have to do is leave a comment below on this video in the comment section saying, let me see if I get this right, I want to make money with Kindle publishing. So I'm sorry, it's a little corny, but I love making money with Kindle publishing. You should too. So say I want to make money with Kindle publishing in the comments section below, and we're going to choose a random winner and announce it next show, because I know a lot of you folks can't get to this live hangout right now, so we want to give everybody a fair chance at being able to win the course, which we still have to talk a little bit more about it, but I believe we're going to be charging $97 for the course, so you can definitely save some good money and get your Kindle publishing business started. But yeah, really excited about this show. Let's talk about starting the show, Cody. Let's talk about the importance of having goals when you first start a Kindle publishing business, because as you know, you've started many businesses before, online especially. It's all about having a vision, right? It's almost like, if you're on a plane, right, and you're going somewhere, the pilot needs to know where they're going. I mean, yeah, they might have to go left a little, go right, there might be a storm here, but if you have a vision, if you have goals, ultimately you can get there. So let's talk about goals a little bit. Do you have goals? When you first started, what were your goals, and just any advice about goals for the listeners?
Well, anybody who watches my channel knows that I'm really, really into goals. I mean, I'm very goal-oriented, very task-oriented. That's the only way I'm able to run my businesses. I'm here in my new office right now, and that was based on goals. So yeah, when I first started Kindle specifically, my goal, I took it in small doses. One common problem people have is they look at somebody who's doing some great things and they kind of get down on themselves because they don't feel they can get there. So I take it in small bite-sized doses. And so in the beginning, I had a goal just to create my first 10 books. I wanted to create my first 10 books, and so I dove into the process. But what I recommend on a potentially a daily basis is to outline what tasks need to be completed in your Kindle business and give yourself one of those tasks every single day. I always talk about the power of duplication. So with my goals, even creating one small task in your Kindle business and duplicating that over a month or 6 months or a year worth of time, you would be amazed how big of a business you can create and the quality of products you will actually have. So having daily tasks preset the day before, in my opinion, is the best way to create goals.
Absolutely. And the amazing thing about having goals and taking action on it on a daily basis, especially when it comes to Kindle, is the more you do it, right, the more you wake up every morning and you do a certain thing, it could be your health or your business, the more and more you do it, the easier it becomes, right? It's almost like, if you're trying to get back in shape again, the first week you go to the gym, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so tough, I'm running out of breath, my muscles are sore. But after 3-4 weeks, it becomes a habit or ritual. it becomes easier, you gain more confidence, and it's just huge. I tell you right now, one of the things that I've been doing recently, and it's helped tremendously with my Kindle publishing business, is having a morning ritual. So I do certain things every single day that includes exercise and meditation and a bunch of other things, but really what it's doing is it's prepping me up for the day, and once I finish that, I get into my highest leverage activity. This is where it all strings together. So you've got to kind of take a look at your Kindle publishing business and understand what activities are going to yield you the highest results, what do you need to do, and start your day by doing those things right first thing when you wake up in the morning. And make sure, because when it comes to running a Kindle publishing business, you're the boss, you're the one, running the ship, and it's all up to you. So there's certain things that you need to do to get results. Literally, it's like 1 + 1 = 2. You do this, you do that, you're going to get the result. So you got to figure out what you need to be doing. That could be outsourcing your books, writing your books, creating covers, marketing, getting reviews. You've got to figure out what you need to do, and then you got to do those things every single day and be consistent, and it's going to really help you out a ton. Now, Cody, what is your thoughts on creating leverage for yourself? Because one thing I've done is, I've created a goals report on my YouTube channel. I've told friends, family. I've made public commitments. What are your thoughts in terms of leveraging yourself to be able to make sure that you follow through on all your goals?
Well, I've done the same thing. I mean, I put up a YouTube video on the 1st of January saying I'm going to make $500,000 this year, and I'm going to. But it's really making a decision. You need to decide to be successful. You need to decide that I'm going to do this. The problem most people have is they say, oh, that'd be nice, that'd be cool, that looks awesome. But they don't actually decide to make the choice to do it. So, committing to your goals. The first step is committing to paper. The second step is committing to a habit. So making your goals a habit in your life. Most people, a good portion of this country in America and most countries around the world, make it a habit to wake up when they don't want to wake up, go to a place they don't want to go to lunch when they're told they can go home when they're allowed to go home. But when it comes to a simple business goal, they say, I'll do it tomorrow. Make it part of your daily habit, your daily ritual, your daily routine, and make it priority. I wouldn't say number one, your family and your beliefs and different things, but make it a top priority in your life. To me, that is the most important facet to my success and how I got started in any business, but Kindle included.
One of the big things that I had struggled with early on, and this was because I run multiple businesses just like Cody does, with eBay and Amazon and Kindle publishing and other types of businesses that I run. One of the big struggles that I had was when I had first woken up in the morning, I was, what's the word? I was reacting to the world, right? So I would be checking my emails, I'd be checking my Facebook, I'd be answering questions for YouTube, I'd be attending to everybody else, which there's no problem because Cody and I, we both love helping people. We have pretty big YouTube channels where we help tons of people and we make videos and give a lot of free content out just like this video. But the thing is, if you're not doing certain things on a daily basis and you're just reacting to the world, you're never really going to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So one tip is, when you wake up, don't jump right into your phone, right? Don't jump right into your emails. Don't jump into, calling people back and kind of reacting to the world. Jump right into yourself, right? So it's really good to get into the exercise, the self-development, getting into your core tasks like Cody was talking about or what I was talking about, highest leverage activities, because I'm telling you, when you start off the day on the right track, right, and you're really feeling good and you're taking care of the things that matter most, the rest of your day runs so much smoother. There's a guy named Brian Tracy. He's a self-development guru. He talks a lot about marketing and productivity, and he has a book called, I believe it's called, maybe you can help me out with this, Eat This Frog, or what's it called? Have you ever read the book?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I think it's something like that.
It's Eat This Frog or Eat Your Frog or something to do with eating a frog. Not literally, but pretty much what he says is everybody has a frog in their life, and it's just staring at them, right? That could be your certain tasks you have to do for your Kindle publishing business. That could be a video that you need to make or a speech that you have to make. Maybe you have to prepare for it. There's always a frog in someone's life, and that frog is pretty much going to make up the results that you have. So point being is eat that frog first thing in the morning. Take out those core tasks, outsource that book, come up with those ideas for your business. do what you got to do, and it's going to make a huge difference. But with that being said, what are your thoughts on getting a coach, Cody? Because, and this kind of stems from leverage. What are your thoughts in terms of holding yourself accountable and having leverage with whatever you're doing by having a coach and investing in a coach?
Well, I'm obviously somewhat biased because I am a coach. I coach a lot of people in marketing, a lot of people in reselling. But that being said, I also have coaches. So it's not a one-way street. I am always working to better myself. I'm always looking to expand my knowledge base and be able to help more people through the things that I learned. And I'm always bringing in information. So not only do I coach literally hundreds of people, but I also work with other coaches, other mentors, whether they know it or not. Some I actually hire and pay and work with. Other ones, I've mentioned a lot about Tim Ferriss or Tony Robbins, who is probably one of the ultimate coaches. So I think having a coach, having a mentor, having people you can look up to and striving for success and being better. There's this mindset of DIY. And I've always been kind of a DIY person to a certain degree in life, but you're going to hit a wall. So finding people who have actual success, who have accomplished what you're looking to accomplish. Like right now, I'm writing a book, a physical book. So, we talk a lot about Kindle, but there's also the physical publishing side of it as well. And so I'm looking to those kind of coaches. And in Kindle, looking to people, you and me both, we purchased several courses. We worked with several different people to get to where we are. It's not like we said, oh, we're going to, start a Kindle business, and all of a sudden we started having success. I know a little bit about your story, but speaking for myself, I failed miserably in the beginning at multiple businesses and had to work with people. So personally, I'm a big proponent of coaches, partially because I am one and partially because I know how much impact they can have in your life.
Exactly, that's huge. And I know for me personally, investing in multiple programs and coaches and spending the money to actually make the money, it just held myself so much more accountable. Because, I mean, oftentimes in life, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, one of my biggest weaknesses and one of my biggest flaws, and I've been working on this, is taking on a task and not completing it. So that's something that I've struggled with my whole life, and I've been getting a lot better at it because I've realized it and I've really looked into it. But when you invest in a coach, right, you have someone there for you, and you're going to have to see him next week, or you spend your money, you're just so much more inclined to actually complete something and finish it. And that's one thing that I've noticed with Kindle publishing. If you separate the winners from the losers, or not even to say in a negative light like that, but from the people who make a lot of money and the people who only make a few hundred, is it seems that they really they go for it, right? They finish a job. When they start a job, they finish it. And the people that really don't do too well, I mean, they come up with excuses and they say this and that, and they don't follow through, and they don't take action on a daily basis, and they don't build momentum. Like, can you touch on that a little bit, Cody? Like momentum, right? Like when you had first started, like you probably weren't doing that great. You maybe were struggling a little bit. But once you got 20 books and 30 and 40, and you started building confidence, you started making more and more money and realizing, oh, this works, this doesn't work. I mean, the power of momentum, talk about it. It's huge.
Well, it's everything, and it's everything in every business model. Building that momentum, and once it gets started, it's like a train getting moving. It takes a minute to get moving, but once you get moving, it's faster and faster and faster and faster. So for a lot of people, they have a hard time getting past the initial hurdle of having zero books, zero experience, nothing going for them in this business. But you can quickly go from that to building momentum, and to go from zero to one book to two to three to four to five to 10 to 20 to 50 to 60, and you really start building that momentum. And the great thing, the great thing about this is the power of duplication. I talk a lot about the power of duplication, and you can do that in this business as you grow. So you go from 1 to 5 books and you see your sales grow, but then you go from 50 to 60, 70 to 80. So once you start building that momentum, it's passive income to a point, but I hate the word passive income because people have just completely messed that word up over the last decade. You have to put work in. This isn't something where you can snap your fingers and you're just rich. This isn't myself and Steve, neither one of us are rich from this business. We make good income, but we've built it off our momentum, and now we both put in a reasonable amount of effort in. But we've got to the point that based on our momentum, our businesses grow even when we don't feel like we're putting in our maximum effort.
Exactly. I mean, and you can go at your own pace, right? That's another beautiful thing because some people, like I know you're a family man, and congratulations. I know you're having another child as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So some people, they have more time, less time. Maybe you got a family or you're a bachelor or, you have a full-time job or you're an entrepreneur or whatever it is. You can go at your own pace, right? I
Yeah.
mean, when I first got started, I was publishing a book here or there, and then I got discouraged and I kind of quit for a while, and I pumped it out. And now this month I'm on track to publish maybe more than 50 books, 50 to 60 books this month because I figured out the system. And I'm not saying that to brag or boast, but it's kind of like, a chef, right? Of a really popular restaurant, and they make a ton of money. I mean, at first they had to figure out what they're going to have on the menu, and then they had to figure out the recipes and the ingredients. But once you figure it out, then you could take it and you could scale it up. So that's really
Well, and don't let that scare them because you just said pushing out 50 books, and I know the amount of volume you scaled better than most, and the volume you're pushing out is good. In December, I put out 0 books. So for the month of December, I put out 0 books. My income still kept coming in. So that is the passive side of it. So it does have a passive side, but once you scale it, you pick. And I know for you, Steve, 50 books, but you're not going to do that every month. You're going to have times where
no,
you scale back. You're going to have times where you hit the gas and times where you let off. But as long as you keep your momentum going, you'll consistently bring that income in. And I know that you kind of paused out a little bit the same way that I did.
yep. Yep, because a few months back I was moving a little too quick. I was doing 20, 30 books for a few months, but then I had realized that, listen, I've got to slow down a little bit. I didn't have all my systems in place. I was having some challenges here and there with marketing books and the overall quality of the books, and I just wanted to step up my game. So back to the time that you put in, there was a time where I was putting in a lot of time, and then there was other times where I wasn't putting in as much time because I wasn't publishing books, but I was working on systems, which we're going to share with you in the program and everything. But it's really up to you in terms of your pace. After I publish these books, I'm probably going to slow down for a month or so and work on turning them into physical books and audio books and optimizing the back end. Because honestly, we're telling you guys exactly where we are. I mean, I know Cody, you're around the $5,000 mark. I'm not sure if you're above that now. I'm
No, it
around.
actually it actually slid back. So I've been hovering. I was just over 5, and then I went back to about 46. So because I took a little break, I
Yeah.
did see a couple $100 dip, but $4,600 to do this much work in December, I'm all in. So and then from there, I'm on track to go back up above 5 in this month.
Exactly. So I'm a little less than you. I scaled pretty quick over the last few months, but I'm anywhere between the 4 and 5,000 mark, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on how this month comes up. Because just like you, I did scale back a little while I was working on systems. Um, but the point is, I mean, it's really up to you to take this wherever you want, and it's just a beautiful thing about this. But passive income, like I said, there's always times where you're going to have to put in time to maintain it, and it's not going to be like you're laying back on the beach and kicking back, relaxing. You don't have to do anything. It's just not the way it works. So, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. There's people who are making 20, 30, and we were talking before. We know people who are making well over 6 figures doing what we're doing. We're not here to tell you that that's us. We are where we are in our journey right now. One of the good things, and one of the things that I always preach is, if you're, making $300, $400, $500 a month, you want to learn from someone who's making more money than you, right? But if you're at the point where you're making $20,000 a month on Kindle, we're not the people for you, right? If you're making $10,000 a month, we're not necessarily the best pick for you. There might be someone better than you, but if you want to learn how to get up to 4,000 or 5,000 or more, we're definitely here to help you out. So you got to definitely go after somebody who's getting the results. That's really, really important. But do you want to look in the comment section a little bit, Cody, and see if we could shout some people out and say what up to some folks who are joining us tonight?
Yeah, the orange elephant is in the room, and apparently he can barely hear me. So yeah, let me know if you guys, Steve, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound perfect.
So let me know if you guys can hear me at all. That'd be a bummer if, well, wouldn't be the end of the world, but that'd be a bummer if you couldn't hear me at all. Orange Elephant's in here. Mr. Shoe Guy. So Mr. Shoe Guy, who was on the Green Room Hangout, is in here. Appreciate that. Looks like Lori, she wants to make money with Kindle publishing, so that's good.
Uh-oh.
So if you guys are just joining us right now, we announced that we are going to we are going to be giving away a free course. So put I want to make money with Kindle Publishing, and we're going to be picking a winner. It looks like Start Win Go. Brian, I know Brian. He says, "Can you turn up a notch?" Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can adjust that. Um, let's see. So hopefully that'll work. Holland Hobbies is in here. So yeah, do you see anybody in there? Johnny Retail?
Yep, I think you pretty much mentioned everybody in there. Let me answer a question that I got from Johnny Retail 26 minutes ago. Thanks, Johnny, for joining us. Let's let Cody handle this question. How many categories do you guys sell in, and do you have multiple books in one category to try to grab market share, or are you spreading it out and only putting one book in each category that you target? Thanks.
So here's one thing that I do. I even though, and here's something to think about, guys. Even though I am outsourcing the bulk of these books, I am still doing a lot of categories that I personally have experience and or knowledge in. The reason is I can manage them and I can add to them as the books gain popularity. So I don't know the exact number. I sell in a wide range of categories because are you talking about big categories like carpentry is a huge category, and then you could break it down into drywall or finished work, or so you could break that down into a million subcategories. So I probably have books in dozens of categories, but I'm always looking to dominate my niches. So I will, if I find a niche that does well, I will add a third, fourth, fifth, 10th book in that niche to really try to dominate and really become an authority on that topic, which is very important to the search engines. And remember, Amazon is a huge search engine, one of the biggest at this point. So I sell in a lot of different categories, but ultimately I will break it down based on my success in each one. I don't sell in a lot of categories that I don't have experience in, though. So I'm not selling in, how to become a scientist or things that I just don't know anything about, but I break it down into subcategories primarily.
Yeah, same here. I try to stay into categories that I know. I do have a good deal of books in categories that I don't have a ton of knowledge in, but they're not super, super complicated categories. So, I mean, I've got books on photography, gardening, weight loss, recipe books, a lot of meditation, spirituality books, e-commerce, self-help, stocks, stuff like that. So I try to keep it, just like Cody said, in categories that I have somewhat of a knowledge base in. But again, I mean, if you hire really good writers and you get yourself a really good team together, you can really go into any niche. The only problem is, having a little bit of knowledge on the topic will allow you to, when you read it, to know if the actual content is of high value. But either way, you're going to know if the book's good or not over time just based on the reviews you get. You ever had a book, Cody, where maybe you had an issue with a writer, or there was some type of problem with it, with grammar or whatnot, and you got hit with a bunch of negative reviews?
Yeah, well, in the beginning I did, but I won't allow that to happen anymore. I make sure they're better quality. I definitely have had that. And I've also had books, we talked about this before the show. I've had books that I got back and it was, I don't know, 60 to 80% plagiarized. And you guys really need to make sure you check for plagiarism. I personally have never listed anything with any potential plagiarism. You will lose your account. So think of it, you're outsourcing this, but you're the boss, you're the manager, you're the person who is the owner of this little micro business. Your outsourcer, I'm creating words as we go. but the person you outsource to, they really have no vested interest or responsibility. They're just making some income. And if you have any issues, you need to let the person who's managing that outsourced company, like Odesk, know, so you're not paying for it. But you will have these issues. You'll have people who try to pull the wool over your eyes. You as the manager need to do all the quality control, the checks and balances. And if you run into these issues, you need, because you're kind of the final say, like the magazine editor, the book editor, you're the final say. So making sure all your little things are in check. And I have actually checklists that I utilize to make sure everything is in check before it goes live and is published.
One thing that I've learned, which helps a lot, is letting your writers know before you hire them or when you're interviewing them let them know what you expect. Let them know that you're going to be running the work through a software program. Let them know you're going to be reading it, you're going to be checking it out, you're going to have an editor editing it for you, you're going to have a formatter, you're going to have multiple people on your team that are going to be looking over the content. Because a lot of times I found when I was new, it's some of these, and they're not bad people, but sometimes they try to pull the wool over your eyes, and if they kind of notice that you're new or you don't really know what you're doing, they'll try to pull a quick one, right? And I was just talking to Cody before the program. There was I'm not going to release the niche, but something to do with technology. It was a book that I was having written when I first got started, and I ran it through the plagiarism software, and it was like 95% copied. I mean, and the thing is, I use Copyscape. I also use a few other programs, but in Copyscape, when you pretty much copy the content and then you paste it into the program, and it checks for duplicate content on the internet. And what happens is if there's duplicate content, it'll actually show you the site, and you can compare text. When you click compare text, it'll actually highlight the content that was created. And I mean, this guy literally just, imagine a 5,000 page like blog posting or something. He literally just copied and pasted the whole entire thing and pasted it. He didn't even try to put it in his own words. So definitely let your writers know what you expect, what you're going to be doing. And I haven't had a problem since. If they know that you're taking it serious, they're not going to try to pull the wool over your eyes. But hopefully that answered your question. Let me go into the comments section. I know we had another question from Holland Hops.
Yeah, that also gets back into you being the manager, so making sure that you're taking care of that before it goes out to the public, because you will run into that, but make sure you're screening your writers and you're doing all the quality control.
Holland Hobbies asks, are you guys switching your keywords up routinely, or do you just do it as needed if you notice that your book is starting to slip a little bit?
Yeah, I switch up my keywords routinely. Oh my gosh. Routinely? No. I can't talk, and when I can, I'm making up words. So this is interesting. Routinely, no, I do not. I don't have a routine for it. However, I do switch them up. Now, I'm always looking to elevate the ones that are selling well, and then I'm looking to find the root of the problem of the ones that aren't selling well. All of them have potential to do well, but you've got to give them the best chance possible. So routinely, changing around the keywords can help. Now, keep that in mind. If you have something that's doing well, don't jump in and start playing with the keywords, because then you can go from here to here. So
Yep.
if it's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you have something that's not doing well, then of course jump in and work on the keywords.
And a lot of times it's just a lot of split testing. It really is. I mean, it's easy to say that the keyword's the problem and the issue, but how do you know that it's the issue? I mean, I guess you can tell based on how it's ranking, but there's a lot of other factors that come into play when it comes to a Kindle book selling. And just to mention a few, there's the title, right? So there's keywords in the title, but not only with the keywords in the title, it's how compelling the title is. Does it draw people in? Does it make them want to further look at your book? There's the cover of your book. How well is your cover made? Does it stand out? Your description, the amount of reviews, the price of your book. I mean, that's a great way to differentiate yourself from the crowd. The quality of writing, the page count, the categories that you're ranking for. I mean, the list really goes on and on. I guess the key is to have a system in place for being able to track all your books, and that's something that I teach in the program. I created a system for being able to track all your books and then to be able to make appropriate action on it. Because, I mean, yeah, if you have 5 or 6 books, it's pretty easy to track, but once you get 50, 60, upwards to 100 plus books, being able to track all your books and realize you have a problem and then take appropriate action is easier said than done. But thanks for that question, and let's see if we have any more questions.
We got one from Lori Rose. Is it possible to write a Kindle book on your own limited budget?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm trying to see how this question's geared. Did she say on a limited budget?
Yeah, she said, is it possible to write a Kindle book on your own, limited budget? So she wants to know if she can write it on her own, and I'm guessing she has a limited budget overall.
Yeah, absolutely. In the program, and I actually covered this section, one of the things I talked about was, first thing, you want to kind of take a look at your finances, right? We don't recommend that if you're really low on money to go out and spend all this money on outsourcing and hiring all these promoters and marketers and book covers. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about writing a book on your own and starting your publishing business with a limited budget. Obviously it's going to take more of your time, right? That's kind of the thing you're going to have to give away. You're going to have to give away your time. But once you start bringing in some royalties and having some money come into the business, now you can kind of take some of that time back and you could invest the money in your business. But I definitely recommend that you get started writing your own book. It's really not that difficult of a task if you have the right strategies in place and you put an outline together and you take the time to actually research the topic and get into something that you're comfortable with, right? It's if you don't know anything about photography, don't start off writing a book on photography. Think about what you're good at, and everybody has strengths, right? The ladies, they could be good in the kitchen, they could be good with advice and relationship talk and lots of different things. Working out, fitness, not here to stereotype anybody, but everybody's got strengths, right? And everybody's got weaknesses. So think about what you're really good at, what you're passionate about, and that's going to help you so much more to write your own book because, if you're not passionate, if you're not passionate, it's going to be tough to write your own book. But yeah, definitely. If you want, you can write your own book. And there's also ways that you can have a cover created for free with the Kindle cover creator on Amazon. Really horrible though. I'd say find $5 and outsource the cover, but there's definitely ways you can start it off with very little money, if no money at all out of your pocket, just time.
It can actually hinder your book from selling at all. Don't judge a book by its cover, but people do. So
yeah.
If you have a terrible cover that looks like it was, made by a third grader, then it won't sell at all. And, there's examples of things with terrible covers selling, but most of them have a name behind it. If you're trying to have somebody look at a screen with 10 different possibilities, you want them to aesthetically have yours pop and then them be able to pick your the one you have available. So cover is important, but you can do it for relatively inexpensive.
Exactly. We got a comment from Kayla H, and I know she's always commenting on my videos. So what's going on, Kayla?
We got a lot of green room support tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Kayla says, ready for this course to come out so I can get started. Almost bought another course, but I have a feeling that yours will be much more thorough. I mean, yeah,
Kayla was smart.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely appreciate your support. There's definitely other courses out there, but we appreciate you sticking by our side, and there's a lot of good ones too, so good and bad. So definitely feel free to look around. Tom the English Picker, I would love to write a book because I have so many stories from the last few years buying and selling stuff. I'm dyslexic, and I just know that it wouldn't get finished. It's great to hear about it all.
Tom the English Picker's on the other side of the world, and he's wee hours, and he's on here right now. I appreciate him being on here. He's a great guy, too. He's got a good YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've watched a few of Tom's videos. He's got some awesome stuff. We appreciate you rocking out late night with us. We got Jamie's Joystick in the house. What's up, Rakin and Cody? Green Room in the house, baby. Got a lot of Green Room members.
That's what I'm saying. They're supporting. And for those of you who don't know, I am an admin now, so me and Steve are double working together. Just can't shake this guy.
Absolutely, yep.
Wouldn't want to if I could, though. Wouldn't want to if I could.
We've been having a lot of fun together, working on this project. And why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're working on in case someone's just tuning in, because we are partners in the Kindle Business Academy, which is a course that we're going to be putting out hopefully by February 1st. So why don't you talk a little bit about it, maybe for a minute or two, and just give everybody a little brief idea of what it is and how it could help them.
Well, the Kindle Business Academy is going to be a video course, and the cool thing about it is we're structuring it so if you're brand new and never done anything, intermediate, advanced, there's going to be a wide range of videos in there. Plus, the cool thing is we're going to continuously update the content. So it's not going to be like we throw a course at you and hope you do something with it, but we're going to be updating the content. We're going to be adding new techniques. We're going to keep the course fresh. And it goes through all the different processes, whether you outsource, write the books yourself. It's got advanced marketing in there, how to do things on the back end. So there's so many ways to monetize that most people don't talk about. we talk about and we try to cover a lot of really good topics in this show to help you guys get started, to jumpstart your business, to get your first couple books out there. But in this course, we go through beginning stuff and stuff that can really help you take your business to the next level, which is really, really important if you want to create a semi-passive or a passive income where you can utilize the power of duplication in your Kindle business. So we're also going to be creating a community around it where we have the one-time course, or you can be part of the community. And so that's going to be an amazing opportunity for people as well. That way you can work with like-minded people. We're going to talk about reviews. We're going to talk about marketing, how to utilize social media. I mean, there's just a million and one different topics we're going over. In fact, Steve, how many videos do you think we're going to have in there?
Well, I think that we're going to be around the 50 video mark for the initial launch of the product, which again is going to be hopefully February 1st, maybe a little sooner, a little later, but that's what we're aiming for now, and we're really fighting to get it out at that day. But right now we're at about 50 videos, give or take, like I said, and we're going to be consistently adding content to it and taking your feedback of what you like, what you don't like, and improving it as time goes on. It's not going to just be a course that we throw out there and we charge you $97 and we say take it or leave it, because the truth is everybody learns differently. Some are slower, some are faster, some need extra help, more detail. So we're going to have our ear right up to the screen, right up to the screen, listening to what you guys are saying, the good, the bad, and we're going to constantly be improving it. Like Cody says, we're going to have a community aspect as well. That is going to be an upsell. So if you buy the actual course, it's going to be the 50 videos and all the other stuff we have along with it. But we are going to have a monthly subscription to get into the community, which is going to be a lot more in-depth, advanced stuff. We're going to have a community for people to be able to talk with each other, exchange honest reviews, help each other out, and just be able to have that support. Because a lot of times, you buy a course. I don't know about you, but have you ever purchased a course and you liked it? It was good, but you didn't really have anybody to talk to, right? It's like you didn't know anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's most courses, to be honest. There's some good ones out there with communities, but the bulk of them, you buy it and then there's no customer service, there's no support. For the one we have, you guys will be able to actually get a hold of us. You guys obviously know how to get a hold of us. You guys will be able to, have our expertise. We're creating multiple different options in this course and the whole program and everything that is included in it. But it's going to continuously evolve. So a business doesn't stand still. The Kindle business on Amazon doesn't stand still. And so we find it to be not right to build a course that stands still. We want your money to be able to work for you. So even the money you spend on this course will actually literally be working for you, because we're going to be continuously putting out fresh content and the most advanced stuff to the Kindle business. I know Steve will have his ear up to the screen. I won't be doing that, but I'll be doing research and helping people. And I mean, between the two of us, sure,
I'm literally going to be there all day long, just like this. I'm not going to leave.
I'm sure you are. And so that's what Steve will be doing, and I'll be working the other side, the stuff that actually is helpful. And between the two of us, there's going to be a lot going on. So it's going to be a great opportunity if it's something you're interested in. Again, we're not here to sell our course. I mean, if you buy it, great. If you don't, great. There's a lot of great stuff out there, but we wanted to create something that we could stand behind and that could actually help advance you, not just once, but continuously.
Exactly. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's throw you on the spot, Cody Hawk, because I know you're a good talker, but let's see if you can handle the hot seat right now.
No problem.
What are you doing currently right now to improve your business and to make more money? Something that you're doing that maybe someone's stuck. They don't really know how to take action. Maybe they're stuck at the $500 mark or the $1,000 mark or wherever that is. Maybe it's their first or second book. They're stuck. I mean, what are you doing right now to improve your business? Something that maybe someone else could say, all right, maybe I could do that.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking risks, and by the first risk that most people need to take, here's what happens. Most people get hung up on I need to do this, I need to do that. You're too afraid to spend capital, and so the best thing I'm doing is not being afraid to surround myself with a team. So things like both of us, we have a VA manager, so basically manages our team and helps us remove ourselves from the situation and utilize what we're best at, which is creating good ideas, creating content, really being able to run our company as a whole and outsourcing tasks that we can have done. So in my Kindle business and in all my businesses, basically I am removing myself from the things that I'm not an expert at or I'm not good at. And that way I can spend 100% of my time creating and doing the things I'm good at. And most people get stuck with, if I could only duplicate myself or I only had more time, when the answer to it is right in front of them. So the number one thing I'm doing is accepting the fact that I'm not Superman. I can't do everything, even though I want to tell myself I can. I can't. And by accepting that fact, I am pushing things out to people who are more talented and have better skills in those areas than myself. And I'm focusing all my creative energy on things that can drastically increase the productivity and the profitability of my businesses.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, regardless of where you are or what income level you're at, you should always be looking towards the future and asking yourself, how can I get better? How can I improve? What systems can I create? What can I do more of? What's working? What can I scale? What should I do less of? And I know, to answer the question, since I put Cody on the hot seat, personally, a few things that I'm working on right now is turning a lot of my Kindle books and my newer books into CreateSpace books, which is an Amazon company, I believe. I'm 100% sure, actually, they're an Amazon company, CreateSpace. So I'm turning my Kindle books into physical books. And another thing I've been working on is turning my Kindle and CreateSpace books, my physical books, into actual audio books, and working on the back end and optimizing it. I mean, again, this is a journey that we're all taking together. We're learning, so that's why, like we said before, we're going to constantly be adding more content to the course, because we're not going to sit here and pretend that we know it all and we're making millions of dollars. We're not. We're earning a good amount of money, and we're still learning. And but we could definitely take you to the next level, and we're going to keep sharing with you exactly what we learn. We're going to save you guys a lot of time, a lot of trial and error, and I think it's huge. I'm sure Cody could agree. Just keep learning, keep pushing forward, and just keep trying to take it to the next level, because there's always new things coming about. There's new rules, there's new changes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, always. And that's what I was talking about keeping the course fresh, making your guys' money work for you. Myself and Steve, being that we're full-time, we both run successful companies, we both have our ear to the grindstone, and we're always progressing. I know there's a lot of you out there that have full-time jobs, that have so many things going on, kids like myself, you got families. It's really hard to keep up with all this stuff. We're doing a lot of that work for you, and so with the people who do decide to buy our course, again, this isn't a sales pitch. You'll buy it if you want, you won't if you don't, whatever, that's fine. Either way, the ones who do, we will be able to do a lot of this for them and help continuously pushing them forward, and that's my big goal. I want to always create stuff that can help continuously push forward. We talked about coaching a minute ago. The thing that makes me so happy as a coach is when I can see the people I'm working with surpass me. It's not an ego thing that I have to be the best. I hope that people take this course, send me screenshots, text me screenshots that say, hey, I made 20,000 this month. I'll be cheering you on the whole way, and we're trying to elevate and push people forward. I made a decision a long time ago to have multiple micro kind of niche businesses. So I probably, to be perfectly honest, I'll never be making 100,000 in this business, because I've got so many different diverse facets I'm working on. But I will hit my goals and I will surpass my goals. And that's this course. We're going to educate you on how to hit and surpass your goals, and we're going to keep pushing you forward.
Like I said before, not to beat a dead horse, but literally we're going to teach you guys the recipe, right? We're going to show you guys what's worked, what works for us currently, how we're making money, how we built up to the point that we're currently at. And we're going to let you guys take it and run with it, right? We're going to let you guys decide for yourself. Do I want to spend 2-3 hours a week, or do I want to spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week? It really is a business that comes back to the time that you invest in it, right? So once you kind of go through the program and you learn exactly what you need to do, which it's going to take time. There's a learning curve. There's certain things that you need to know. But it's going to save you a lot of time with the program. So you're going to be able to figure out what you need to do, and it's just going to be a matter of spending the time. So we want to hear the success stories of you messaging us and saying, listen, we made $10,000 this month, we made $20,000 a month. It really is a business where it's up to you as the individual, the entrepreneur, the visionary, to take it to where you want it to go. I know we do have another question in the comments section from Lori Rose. Thanks again for watching. How do you guys feel about writing an autobiography if you had a really interesting life? You want to touch on that, Cody?
Is she talking about personal? I mean, which
I
one?
think she's talking about writing a
On
autobi
somebody?
on I think herself.
Oh, that makes sense. You know, an autobiography, yeah, I mean, you could do virtually anything. So any type of autobiography or biography on somebody else, I had to actually think what the word meant there for a second. But yeah, I mean, if you have an interesting story life, you know, you can otherwise take your life as a basis point and then create more of a fiction, or you can create a full-blown autobiography and utilize that as well. There's a lot of options out there. I would recommend if you go that route, you have a lot of opportunity to, if you're going to already invest yourself into it with Create Space, with audiobooks, with you know, the whole wrapping the whole package around it, and potentially marketing it as you and potentially not a pen name. But it really depends on your overall goal with that autobiography. But it's a great idea. It's not something I've personally done, but it's definitely a great idea. And there's so many opportunities out there for all the different paths you can go.
I've talked to a lot of people, Cody, and a lot of folks, you know, they want to make 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month. You know, a lot of them just want to make an extra $1,000 a month. But there's a good amount of people too who aren't necessarily in it to make a ton of money. Maybe they already have successful businesses and companies, but they want to learn how to actually publish their own book, right? They want to learn how to publish the book, how to get the physical book out, the audio book. You know, they want to have something that, you know, they could say, I wrote this book, I'm an author, you know, my name's on the book, you can look up the SIN number and everything. So the cool thing about this course is you could literally take it, you know, up to $10,000 a month or more if you want to. Higher, you could take it to, you know, a few $100s a month, or you could just publish a book and, you know, just be an author and see how it works. But if you're not targeting certain markets, I found, and certain keywords and going after kind of proven books, it's a little more difficult to guarantee that you're going to make money. So just take into consideration, if you write a book that you're not really targeting a specific market or a specific keyword, you're definitely going to have to focus more on the marketing and on the social media and really pushing your name out and getting yourself known. Definitely make sure that you're running the free promotions every 3 months through KDP Select and giving your book away for free, because, you know, that's the tough thing about writing a book, maybe about a topic that's not super popular, or if you're not well known. You know, creating an autobiography, you're going to have to get your name out there. So it's definitely possible. The program's going to help you to be able to publish your book regardless. But yeah, I think it's definitely a great idea, and it's something that you should definitely look into.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, a lot of different potential opportunities out there, so keeping that in mind. Do you know if we have any more questions?
Let's see. I'm loading it up real quick. Let's see what we find. Again, we appreciate everybody coming and, you know, hanging out with us for. It's been about 45 minutes now. I know. I mean, we really do enjoy talking, you know, anything to do with business, but Kindle especially right now, because it really is an awesome opportunity. We're living in an amazing era, amazing part of time where, you know, you can literally make money from the comfort of your home, right? You can create these books. You can hire other people to do them if you'd like. You could create really valuable pieces of content for people that helps people, makes a difference, and allows you to make money from home. So, you know, we're here to share our you know, our knowledge, what's worked for us. We're here to help you out. It's really not all about the money. You know, we both run some pretty successful companies already, and we're doing well. But, you know, we really do see the opportunity now, and we just hope that, you know, regardless of if you purchase our program or not, that you go out and you look and you get started with it, because it really is a great business to get into. But I'm looking at the comments. I don't see any more comments directed as questions. I do see a lot of people asking or stating, I want to make money with Kindle publishing. So again, I'm going to let everybody know, if you're interested in winning a free copy of our course, which is going to be a $97 course. If you want it for free, if you want to start your Kindle publishing business with zero money out of your pocket, all you have to do is go into the comments section and type in, I want to make money with Kindle publishing. And we're going to choose a random winner, and we're going to release that winner on our next show. So we're going to leave this contest open for. We should probably leave it open maybe all week and choose it the next
We'll choose it live.
Yeah, we'll choose it live. We could even go through and scroll down and choose a random winner. Whatever you like, Cody, is fine with me. But let's leave it open.
Yeah, if they're watching it after the fact, so a lot of people will catch the recorded version. Leave that comment. What Steve said, you got to leave that comment to be entered, and then we will choose somebody live.
Exactly.
Next week.
Yep. So we're going to shoot for next Thursday or somewhere around there. We'll definitely let you guys know. So if you're not already following us on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, Rake and Profit, Raiken, Profit, how it sounds. And, of course, you're watching this video, so you're already subscribed to Cody. Also, follow us on social media. Again, Facebook, Rake and Profit. And I know that you had just started a Facebook account too.
Yeah, not too long ago, Cody H. Hawk on Facebook. So go like me over there, putting out a lot of stuff over there as well. So follow us on social media on YouTube so you can get more information about what's going on. And yeah.
Exactly. So we definitely keep everybody updated in terms of when our next live hangouts are, or little tips and tricks about Kindle or eBay or Amazon or anything to help you making money and improve your life. But I think that's about it. If you guys want to stay in the loop with our new program and be first to know about when it's released and maybe even get a little discount on the course, be sure to check the link in the description area below, kindlebusinessacademy.com. We have a website where you can put in your name and email, and we'll keep you up to date. We're not going to spam you or anything. We're just maybe once in a while we'll send you a little newsletter or a little tip or let you know if the program's coming out. But, yeah, we appreciate you guys watching, and I'm going to let Cody wrap it up.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone watching. It really, really means a lot. We are really excited to push this course out, and we are really excited, more excited than that, to be able to help each one of you who decides to, get our help. We're going to be doing a lot of, a lot of things in this course that we actually can't talk about right now that we'll be releasing soon. But definitely stay tuned and make sure you're on that email newsletter. We are going to be doing a discount. I know Steve just talked about that, but we are going to be doing discounts for the newsletter. We're going to be doing a huge discount for the Green Room members, and we're going to be doing more giveaways. So make sure you tune into the live shows so we can do more giveaways for you guys, and we will see you guys next Thursday.